He said that she pulled up after they had already solved for and they declared whatever it was that he was supposed to pay child support. She pulled up in a brand new car and said, "You paying for this." He said he was so mad that he wanted to kill her that night. He says something came over it to where she just didn't appear at home or whatever like that. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Something came over him to where she didn't appear at home, and so he couldn't choke her the fuck out. He said he seen red. He almost blacked out when she pulled off after she said, "You paying for this with your child support dollars." Guess what? They cordial today, and they still have interactions with their grown-ass fucking daughter through the daughter, and they still are laughing. I seen them doing the fucking hustle the other day. A lot of y'all knew I was at a birthday party over the last weekend. I seen them two motherfuckers doing a hustle the other day. You know why? Because they could not avoid each other through the fact that they still had to raise their daughter and they're still interconnected for the rest of their life. And so I tell y'all all the time, y'all having the wrong conversations. We sitting here looking at all of the baby mamas and all of the fatherless households and all of the residual effects that come along with it. When in reality, the more important question that you should ask yourself, because you're tied to that person for the rest of your life through the person that you have kids with. We could talk about family court. We could talk about child support. Yeah, those laws need to be changed. You know I'm an advocate for my guys with regard to that, especially now that we have women being equal. But let's be clear. If I marry you and I walk away from you, especially if I have an ironclad prenup and I don't have kids with you, I don't ever have to see you again. I don't even have to be your Facebook friend. I can block you on everything and it will not affect me. I don't have to deal with you for the rest of my life. If I marry you and I have no children with you and we decide to go our separate ways tomorrow, I have no ties on me. There is nothing preventing me from going and moving to Antarctica tomorrow. You cannot send me to jail for anything. You can't come after me with anything. You can't do anything. I'm no longer yours. We're not tied together. It does not mean anything. Shout out to Clark Kent. I'm going to be reading that super chat tomorrow. But if you have kids with her, even if you never married her, it's over for you. It's a lot of women that's getting divorced today. It's a lot of couples that's getting divorced today. Go and look at Kevin Costner's situation. He had an ironclad prenuptial agreement. You know how she got him? She got him through the child support. Now he's paying over $150,000 a month because he has kids with her. And the alimony is not even a thing. That wasn't even a thing that was being contested. That's not even a thing that she used as leverage to get more money out of him. It was the child support. Child support. The person that you lay next to and have children with, that's why the Bible tells you that if you have sex with them, you married to them. Because now you're sharing DNA. Now you decided to have kids. Now your DNA is combined to create this entire new being. And so you literally played God. Now you have something that you have to overlook and hoard over and make sure that they're taken care of for the rest of their life. Now you're responsible for what it is that you put into this human being and then what they put into the rest of the world. You have sex with them. That's your wife. That's your husband. And so how easy is it for you to just walk away from this situation knowing that the life of that individual and that being is interdependent on whether or not you guys are successful together? Don't you know that you have the power of life and death in your tongue and who it is that you decide to walk away from when you have children with them? Don't you know that the success of your child is largely tied to whether or not they have a father or a mother in their life? That the biggest crisis that we have inside of society today is fatherless households, and that's the reason why we got all of this crime and all of these people that's out of their minds making decisions on what is going to be and what's not going to be and who's in office and who's in our legislative branches and who's the CEOs and whether or not your kid can go to the same bathroom. These are the people that's crafting the laws today. Don't you know that you created a monster when you decided to walk away from the situation? Listen, you're never going to get me to change my position on this. Unless your life is in danger and you are experiencing a level of trauma that is tied to the physical and emotional extreme abuse of the people in that household, and it is largely affecting you and the people that are subjecting themselves to it, which I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's what you're really going through. You know why? Because whatever it is that you may or may not be going through, those things was there before you got with the person that you with in the first place. They didn't change. They just became more of what they already were. Whoever it is that you decided to lay next to, you overlooked everything in order to make sure that you can get your rocks off. You overlooked everything. They never changed. So I don't believe you when you sit here and tell me, well, Anton, they different than they was. No, they not. No, they not. They the same person. They the same person. It's nothing different. I don't think you should leave if you have children with them. I don't. I don't think you should leave if you have children with them. That's yours. That's yours. You signed up for it. You created a whole human being as a result of it. If you didn't think that it was that big of a deal, then why didn't you take it into consideration? Don't you know y'all bringing a whole life into this world? There is nothing more precious and more important than taking into consideration the fact that you're bringing a whole human being. If you didn't sit down and think about this shit and contemplate it, oh my God, this thing is made of me, by me, and I'm going to be responsible for its well-being and taking care of it for the rest of my life. I was very intentional with it when I decided to have my daughter. So much so that I decided not to have any other kids because I wanted to put everything I had into making sure that she was successful. It is the most important decision that you're going to ever make in your entire life as far as bringing another human being into this world. Then you telling me you could just walk away? When to leave? Not unless your life is in danger. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I don't care how you feel. When did that ever become a factor? Oh, I'm feeling a certain type of way. They don't make me happy. Think your daughter give a fuck about that? When they come back and hold you accountable? You think your son give a fuck when he's going to turn out to be a... When did we start caring about what you felt? When did it matter when you felt? When did men start taking an accountability or into consideration what they feel when they got to get up and go to work in the morning? Who cares about our feelings when we got to get up and take care of business and go to work in the morning? Ain't nobody checking for us. You know how they said check on your strong friends? That's for men. They made that saying for men. They didn't make that saying for anybody else. They didn't make it just for the bosses. They made that for men. When they said check on your strong friend, they talking about that nigga that get them socks and that tie on Father's Day that nobody give a fuck about, but everybody is dependent on that dude in order to make sure that they taken care of. They don't give a fuck about him. Nobody care about you. They don't care about our feelings. You think anybody is checking to figure out whether or not I'm going to go to work in the morning? They expect it. You know why? Because I got stuff that I got to do. I got to take care of business. Nobody give a fuck about your feelings. Better tuck that shit in.